Hey everybody, meet my wife. She's a degenerate gambler, highly regarded among the crayon eating community. Hey everybody, so I had a big expense and, I don't want to use my own money to pay for it. And let alone, disappoint my wife. So I told her about it and she's going to make a challenge to get the money for this particular expense plus double it. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is seriously like a first world challenge. Okay. So you got to have some money to do it. What I'm going to do is just show you how to get the things that you want for nothing, simply by using the money that you would have spent from maybe your paycheck or however you guys get money, from work and stuff. You use that money and you turn it into more money. Now, I can do this, right? But my wife wanted to do the challenge, and it's good for you guys to see because my wife, she's not really like that old, right? She just had her birthday in September, and she's still in the lower demographics. With a 3 in it. Anyways, so she's pretty young, but she's pretty smart, and she was able to do this, right? And it's a challenge for her because she gets bored, just like everyone else. So I'm going to stop yapping about it so I don't dox, my wife and myself too badly, and we'll get right down to it. So what she did is she made a little mind map, right? Now, this is what my wife's brain is like. So there's a big sun with saying goal, okay? Now, what she said is to make buying a computer a net positive financial. So there you go. I want a new computer. But let's just say it's a $3,000 bike, right? Like an e-bike, or I don't know. I don't even think e-bikes are $3,000. I think they're more. So the cost for this was $28.25. Okay, so what did she say? These are notes to herself, right? She had no intention of giving these to me. I had to coax them out of her. It takes a lot of cunning linguistics sometimes to get people to do what you want. So she said, I want to save, earn double. So $5,650. Saving, not making a purchase I otherwise would have, with an arrow down to, if I do, make sure an expenditure double to the amount is added to the goal. Now, not only is this a first world type challenge, it's actually quite difficult because anything that she buys on top of or during this challenge timeline, she has to get back double. So we're going to see that in a sec. Okay, stock trades. Only new trades in, whatever, man. I can't even read that. So basically from the time frame, right? And we're going to see that in a sec, and work, if any. So my wife, she has a job, but she's a contractor, right? So it's not really a job. She kind of works for herself. And I guess that means that I work for her. So it started on Monday, September 15th, 2025. Okay, so this is what we're talking about here. So making a new purchase, right? So she says, no Uber Eats order, no Tentry order. Tentry, it's kind of the clothing that she likes to buy me, and, it fits really well. No car pickup to pick up computer. And that would have cost us $30. And she has them color coded because she's just like that, right? She organizes. Okay, no Uber Eats order. That would have been $50. My wife, she likes really expensive sushi, and we've kind of given up on alcohol. So it's actually even less than it would have been. No Tentry order. So $100. We found a way to actually slash that in half, but I kind of shared that with my favorite YouTuber, and I don't want to tell everybody because, she should capitalize on that first, and then everyone else can learn about it, right? Because who's watching my stuff? Nobody. Okay, anyway, so now we're going to get into trading, okay? Again, this is first world stuff, right? You got to have money to be able to do this. I'm not saying I have more money than everybody. All I'm saying is, in order to do this, you sort of already have to have the money that you want to spend, and then from there, you can turn it into more money. And that's just the way that finance works here, okay? Hint, hint to anybody watching. You can do this too, okay? And I didn't even mention this, but everything is done without using derivatives and on the Canadian market. So, it's actually pretty impressive. So it really is a really good challenge for her. And I think she really wanted to do it. Okay, so let's get into the trades here. So she started with EQB. what we want to do is we go down here to the chart. I'm going to show you on the 1 year time frame so you can see like the actual movements of this stock here. And she bought it down here, $90, and then it went up, right? So that was her trade. Just bring it over to the 6 month here. So she's playing in this little hole here, like not the gap, but like this little area here. So the trading range over here, right? I guess they did a price discovery or whatever, and she's playing in here, and she made again, good $400. So now ATD, just bring it down here on the one year time frame. You can see the movement here, right? So she bought it, like she said, around 72 to around 73. So in this little range here. Now, this is what we do, right? We just look for the dumps. Well, this is what we've been doing lately. So just look for the dumps here, and you can see there was, 70, a gap up, 72. She wanted to take her profit. She did. It kept going up. It went up like way into the 76s, but she's doing a challenge, right? Yeah, you don't want to lose. You want to keep going up. So, good on her right there. Now, Nutrien, she bought that at 76. Go over here to Nutrien, and it went down like over here to like 76. I'll show you on the 1 year again. Now we're over here in September, right? And you can see there's like a bit of a dump, and then it goes up, and that's what she was playing, right? She went in there, got it at the bottom, 76. So there you go, 76, and then it went up, and then it really kept going up into the 86s, and she sold at 78, well, almost 79. So around here, but still, right? Like, this is a challenge. The whole idea is to make money as fast as possible so that we can pay for my expense, okay? My frivolous first world expense. So she did really well. Look at the 6 month here. You can see it. Like, it looks like a tight range, but there's a lot of movement there, Like 75, 76. That's literally like catching the bottom. And then she's bringing it up into like 78, and it keeps going, and then just really keeps going. Now, had it gone back down, it did actually. It went back down to 76, but, I guess there's only so much risk that you can take, right? And these are pretty low risk at this point. So we'll just move on over. CNQ, bring her down here again on the 1 year time frame. So sold at 44, and she made $268. So that means she bought it relatively low. It's over here in September. So there was a dump here, went down to like 41. So she bought it in, like 41, 42, and then sold it out at about 44. And it went back down, but, again, like low risk, right? Because we're trying to win and not lose. So next, we got Go Greasy here. Go Easy. Now, this thing's a swinger, okay? It's a swinger. She's playing it over here. So Go Greasy, September 23rd, $1,100. So what she did, she bought it up here, so kind of high. Went up to about 216, which, was pretty good, but now that's risky. That's really, really risky. So she made some good dough on there, and then it dumped. It really dumped. Like, whoa. She made a profit on that. It was pretty good. She subtotaled here at about $27.98, so $2,800. So at this point here, September 23rd, and she did a little bit of work, I guess. Compared to what she made trading, like the work it's frivolous. So yeah, she made about $2,800 altogether. So the challenge is actually done here. Now, September 30th there, she goes into weed. So weed stocks, right? Weed, Tilray. And then she goes into No Glass Files. I guess if my favorite YouTuber is watching, you should do something on glass nail file. Because, I have no clue what this stuff is, and I'm not going to watch anybody else because, I just don't have the attention span for that. So she saved $20 by not buying that, okay? Okay, Constellation. And this thing's been having a rough time, okay? It's been booting around all over town, for the last, I guess 3 months, right? So I'll show you here on the 1 year, it was in the 4,000s, and then it really dumped, really tanked, and she bought it. It went down to 33 for a split second, and I know she bought it around the 36s, so it has to be there. So she did a little flipperoo, made $350. That must have been really fast. And you can see here, it's still sitting pretty around 38, so it's still way down from where it was. Whoa, I don't know, That's almost just a buy just by looking at it. But anyway, that's not what we're here to do, right? We're here to just analyze and take a peek at what my wife did for this challenge to, get me a frivolous, just basically a new computer, right? But again, like to reiterate, you could do this for whatever you want. Like if you want a $10,000 e-bike, this is how you would do it. You don't just spend your own money. Like you go out and you turn it into more money. And, if you're really good at it or you really want to give yourself a challenge, you do what my wife did. And she basically did double. Wow. Okay. So, we're just going to go back here. I told you Canopy. Now, these weed stocks here, we've been playing these since like the beginning of time almost, right? Back before Trudeau even got in, these things were flipping around like crazy, Like you go on the 20-year chart here and take a look. Like it's just free money, right? Like basically like an ATM. You just go in and you don't even have to pay the fees, right? Other than the commissions. And like, it's ridiculous, right? As soon as it legalized, like weed legalized, these things dumped and some people got stuck, some people didn't, whatever. So anyways, like all you have to do here is just look, right? So over the last year, we've just been playing this. There's gaps, there's dumpings, there's, like you're up, you're down, they're all over town. And my wife will just play in them. We'll just take a look here. Well, look at Tilroy here and see. There's another one. This one changed names. But, it's over the year, it's been heading up, but, that's coming back from like 40 cents. So again, free money, right? We'll see what my wife did here. There was another one, $240, $220. That's not really a lot, but she could have done it all just playing weed stocks, right? And that's September 30th. So just take a quick peek here. Weed, September 30th, 3-month time frame. We'll just take a look. So September 29th, September 30th, like you see there was a dump there. She bought it. And then within a couple days, like a week, booted back up like a lot, like from $1.90 up to $2.40. So, a 50-cent move. You buy enough of that stuff, at $2, $1. It's free money. That's about all there is to say about that. My cat needed a new cat scratcher, so my wife bought him one. It was $20. So what she had to do is add double, right? So now that's $40. We had a big subtotal here of about $47.68. I guess there's more weed trades, but whatever. She made a lot of money. So September 15th, she started at 0, whipped it on over here to October 9th. So that's 3 weeks. She made $58.30 and the goal was 56 something. Wow, she even blasted past that. Okay, so there you go. I've given you guys the mind map of how my wife was able to buy me a new computer, but you could easily substitute a new computer with, an e-bike or a new bike or whatever, or, whatever it is that you wanted. I don't know. All I'm really trying to say here is, if you know what you're doing, you don't ever have to spend your own money. I guess, on a bike channel, does it really make any sense? Well, yeah, because, bikes are super expensive now. They're literally like ridiculously overpriced. And there's no way that I'm buying a brand new bike with my own money, and let alone like even have to suggest it to my wife that I want something new. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. And I'm just going to try to keep making this stuff as best I can and relate it to bikes. And I have nothing to lose because, I'm not really doing this for money. I'm just doing it to help people out. And if you get something out of it, awesome. Okay, again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.